In the social media space across the continent, we have Elizabeth Musa here to guide us through that. Good morning, Liz. Good to have you here.
Very good to be here, Olive and Osa. Good morning.
Lovely hair.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys look amazing as well. And see, we're matching.
Yeah, we are.
Well, I didn't get the memo, but then again, I like to stand out. Talk to us, Liz. What's happening? I hear that there are people collapsing.
Quite an interesting story. Now, the video of a man who collapsed after allegedly losing a 200,000 Naira loan at a betting shop has gone viral online. Eyewitnesses claim that this incident occurred at a betting shop in Ekpan, Delta State. Also has been gathered that the man in question borrowed the sum of 200,000 Naira from loan shark operators for his house rent, but took it to the betting shop hoping to double it from his betting gains. His hopes, however, were dashed as he lost all the money to a virtual game. Let's see how people are reacting to this particular story online. Now, that one is from Funny Bone Official. It says, "Don't sleep, wake up, collect your money." Well, let's see more reactions on this particular story. That one is from Goonie Graham. It says, "All I can do is laugh. Shout out to those who have never played bet in their life." More reactions on this story. That one is from Srem 10. It says, "If you want to live long, don't play bet." That's how people are reacting. More reactions on this particular story. That one's from Awful Dad. It says, "Sad. The massive unemployment and abject poverty has forced many into unorthodox ways of making money. It's really sad. May God give us good leaders who will harness the creative strength of our youth." Now, that's how people are reacting to this particular story online. I must say it's unfortunate, but we'll keep an eye on this story to find out if this man is in, good shape. But, just seeing how the extent people have to go to just to look for this money, it's quite alarming. Moving on now, outside of Nigeria, outside of the continent, on Friday the 29th of July, videos of an Italian man identified as Filippo Felazzo beating a 39-year-old physically challenged Nigerian man to death surfaced on the internet. Update on this gruesome murder have it that the murderer in question, Filippo Felazzo, has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. The suspect, who beat and strangled Alika Ogochukwu, a father of two, to death while bystanders filmed this horrible incident, is currently in custody. The incident has been described as a brutal murder by the Nigerian embassy in Rome, which happens to be the Italian capital, while the government has promised to investigate this death. Now, the deceased is survived by his wife, Charity Oriaki, who is demanding justice for her late husband, alongside loads of concerned migrants and Italians. Let's see how the reactions are about this story online. That one is from Aim the Machine. It says, "Now, the Italian media and government are trying to tell me that this fit Italian man who murdered a Nigerian man in the middle of the street on a regular day is having bipolar disorder. Look at this daylight murder and see how people are watching a man struggle for his life." More reactions on this particular story. That one is from True Crime Daniel. It says, "Yeah, excuse of the century. That's how they get away with murder. If the situation was reversed, the story would have been different." And he went on to say, "Black Lives Matter." More reactions. We'll take more reactions. That one is from Shopify Global. It says, "Proper investigation must be done, but we are Africans. Justice won't be well served." And there she is crying. More reactions on this story. So you see the reactions. That one is from Onis May. It says, "What surprises me is how he was beating him and many were watching. No reaction till he killed him." Now, we actually have the video of this unfortunate incident where, this Italian man was, beating up this Nigerian man while he struggled for his life. And I must tell you that video was quite sad to watch. It was quite sad to watch. But we won't be able to take that video because it's not what people want to see in the morning. But I want to hear from you, Osa and Olive. These stories we just spoke about now, I just read to you guys. What do you make of it?
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna air out the views that I'm sure a lot of people have. That when it is, to a non-African, it's easy to throw in mental disorder and some of all those excuses, that maybe would make justice go in their favor. But of course, if it was a Nigerian man who was attacking an Italian in the streets, we would not hear anything about schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or whatever, and some of all those things. So it just sounds very unfair. And I'm hoping that the Nigerian government, because this is where I really, feel bad, how much does the Nigerian government defend its citizens outside Nigeria? Is the Nigerian government going to be expecting or calling or demanding the, Italian ambassador, to at least, this can't just be swept under the rug.
They have actually made some demands, which is quite shocking, I would say, right? So the government has made a demand asking that the wife should be given a job because she's now the caretaker of the family. I mean, I saw a report on that. I do not want to believe that that is a value of life that's attached to the value that's attached to a Nigerian life. Now, that video is very triggering. That is the kind of video that triggered the Black Lives Matter movement when the whole world was protesting the killing of a man in broad daylight. Not only was this man attacked and killed, he was attacked unprovoked and killed. And then people were standing by and watching. Nobody did anything. Yeah. This is the same way we watched, George being killed in broad daylight. And it's just very, very disheartening.
I think it's one of the things I think on Monday when we spoke about this, on Friday when we spoke about this, I said the same thing, that, one of the dangers that the world currently is facing is how we are more concerned about making videos on our phones instead of actually taking action, when action needs to be taken. So
it's really alarming. It's really, really alarming.
But once again, the convenience of bipolar disorder in a situation like this is just really, really shocking.
Now, the sad part about this is many people are asking if mental health is being abused, because the unfortunate thing is people are quick to hide under mental health challenges, whereas there are people who genuinely battle mental health. Can this be proved that this man does have mental health? Is there a psychiatric evaluation that was done prior to this incident that can actually prove that he did battle a mental health condition? Because to be honest, it just doesn't make sense, really. It doesn't make sense how he was killed. And Nigerians deserve better. Nigerian lives worth more than that. That's a very, very annoying video. So I would not like to focus on that video. Let's move on to some of the story that you've talked about. Betting.
A lot happier, Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that one.
And people do need to stop making videos when things are going wrong. Like step in, act, instead of making videos. It's terrible.
Two men could have overpowered that man. Two men could have pushed him away.
We don't even need two people. We need one person to step in. You don't need two or three or four. You need just one person to step in, because that man's life was snuffed out in maybe, a few seconds, maybe a minute. I have no idea.
The world
so it was just one person that needed to step in there. It's really, really sad, But once again, what's the value of the Nigerian life here in Nigeria and outside Nigeria? I wouldn't like to.
The fact that it seems to be like people are not talking enough about the story. The way people did when we're talking about the old Black Lives Matter, George Floyd killing, and now this is a Nigerian man in question. People saying on social media, the reactions are like, people are just moving on like nothing happened. They just mentioned it once and people are moving on. But whereas in other instances where a black person is involved, not necessarily a Nigerian, everybody's talking about it, even using the hashtag Black Lives Matter. So it's almost like people are saying, it seems to be that the energy is not the same this time around. That's what people are saying.
And I mean, it's really the same case. It's similar. It's just a copy and paste situation. Mm-hmm. What we had was George Floyd, a black man, being harmed and attacked by a white policeman. This is another situation. The only difference here is that his attacker was not a policeman. That's just it. Because he snuffed the life out of him whilst we watched. And nothing has been done. We certainly hope that the Nigerian government places a value on our lives and makes sure that a price is being paid for this life that was lost. Nothing would ever be enough to compensate for the lost life.
Nothing. I hope we have there is justice for Alika very soon.
Yes.
It's too sad, to be honest. It's just too sad.